Hey everyone, it's Mr. Flying Pig HD here with another episode of the PigCast. Tonight I'm joined by my brother Tom in the United States. He's currently driving across country in his Chevy Malibu. How you doing, Tom? Alright?
Hey, I'm not driving across country. I'm actually driving to Eden Prairie, where I coach soccer.
Or is that
Eden
not
Prairie's
driving across
famous
country?
for... No.
Well, you
Eden
live in
Prairie's
the
very
country.
famous. I do live in the country.
So how are you
Eden
not
Prairie...
driving across country if you
Why are
live
you
in the country?
interrupting me? Let me answer the bloody question.
You
Eden
may
Prairie or
continue.
not... Eden Prairie's famous for... 2011 was voted the nicest place in the USA to live. The Lion Killer, the guy that killed Cecil the Lion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's from Eden Prairie. He lives in Eden Prairie.
Does he still
And
live
we
in Eden
also,
Prairie?
he still lives in Eden Prairie.
Has he not been
And
hunted himself yet then? Because he was pretty unpopular at
no,
one point.
people in the US don't care that much about it. It's Europe that went up in arms. Hunting here, I know it's a lion and it's terrible, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like people care that much about it. I mean that, and it's where the Minnesota Vikings, are housed out of Eden Prairie. So that's where I'm driving right now. I'm going on to 494, the interstate, and there I am.
That's
I've
really
managed.
American. Fair play.
Yep.
So you watched the game earlier?
Well, here's the thing. We sprung forward last Sunday, or 2 Sundays ago maybe. And ever since then, I haven't missed a United game. It's weird how an hour difference can change managing to watch United. So I watched them against West Brom, watched them against West Ham, watched them against Liverpool, and watched them against City today. I watched the whole game today.
Yeah.
Dean McKeelis was crap.
Yeah, he is shite, isn't he?
He's not good, is he?
He's got no pace whatsoever. That Rashford made him look like a right mug.
Well, we may as well get straight into Rashford straight away. I think it was against West Brom, maybe. We weren't having a good game, or West Ham, I can't remember which one, but he turned a defender, and it didn't come off, but his touch and the way he tried to turn a defender was something I haven't seen from a United striker in a long, long time. I think that now when Rooney comes back, obviously Rooney and Massa is going to have to battle it out for that number 10 spot. But we've got a number 9 again, it looks like, for the first time since Van Nistelrooy, really.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited. I think he's going to be fantastic. I was more than impressed with him. I was kind of shocked at how good he looks and good he was. And Martial, you can see the class from him.
They sort of remind me of each
like
other, actually, that
being
Rashford and Martial.
Yeah, they're similar players. I think Rashford's more your out-and-out striker, though.
Yeah. He seems
Chris
like such an
Smalling's-
incredible talent.
Chris Smalling is a fantastic defender.
Yeah, he certainly was today.
He's really come on leaps and bounds the last couple of seasons. He every time I've seen him, he looks like Vincent Kompany. If you paired them two together, you'd have just a complete monster defense. It's crazy. So
yeah, he has been good, but I mean,
the
a little bit, he had a bit of a spell before that where he wasn't doing too well, but I suppose the whole team wasn't. So, but that was a big performance from him today.
Yeah, what do you think
of what, Chris Smalling?
No, like the whole weird situation that is United season.
Well, I mean, we're fortunate that a lot of the other big teams are having absolute mares as well, because we are still in with a shout at getting top 4, a point behind City now. But it's all about consistency. If we go on and win the next few games, great. But what I think is probably going to happen, which is what's happened all season, is we take a step forward, we take a step back. We always do well against the big teams. It seems this season we turn up on the day, but we lose games we shouldn't be losing. So I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to get top 4. If we got top 4, I still don't think we should stick with Louis van Gaal, because he's not really done as what he should have done in terms of spending all that money and having us underachieving. But if he does get top 4, I'll be really happy with that, and then I'll say jog on, see you later on.
What if he wins the FA Cup?
I don't really think that means much, to be fair.
Okay. I mean, it's the only thing Arsenal's won in like 11, 12 years. And
Exactly.
Still got a job.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, if he won top 4 and won the FA Cup. What?
Yeah. If he got top 4 and won the FA Cup, do you back him then? Do you stay?
I can't back him. I can't back that Dutch toad. I just can't.
Well, but here's the thing about Van Gaal I don't understand. It's just weird because the players look unmotivated 1 minute and then highly motivated the next.
Yeah.
It's not like they've given up on their manager, but when you think you've turned the corner, it's like it goes back to drab, dire, horrible soccer. That West Ham game, springs to mind.
Do you not
But
think it's his
I enjoyed
tactics
watching
though
them today.
for the games?
Yeah, I think United play better with him against better opposition. His record against the big teams, the so-called big teams, is historically good. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But United never used to be built on that. United used to be built on. I remember last year Fergie won the Premier League. We took maximum points off the bottom 12 teams. Maximum points that season we took off the bottom 12 teams.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's home and away. 36 or 72 points right there, just from being completely killer efficient against them teams.
Yeah.
But we don't seem to have that. I think that what they would like to do is, I think the club would like to. They wanted it to go better than this year, and then they wanted him to be another year, then give it to Ryan Giggs. I think they see that as their long-term plan, and I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they like Van Gaal as well, to be honest with you, the board.
Yeah, that must be the only reason why he's still in the job.
Right. But I think that, I think there's a lot of good signs, though, for the team.
Do you know why I think he does well against the big teams? I'll tell you why. Because when we're away today, so we're away, City are the team who have to take the offensive really and attack Manchester United and try and win a game. And it sort of helps the style of play that we've got with Van Gaal, because it's that possession build from the back style of football. So you're going to hit with the pacey players like the Rashford and Martial, you're going to hit them on the break and you're going to hurt them. Whereas when we've got to play teams who are a bit lower down, who get numbers behind the ball, who sit back, and we're at Old Trafford. That's why we've not scored at bloody Old Trafford in the first half barely any times this season, because teams are coming there, they're sitting back, and the style of football that Van Gaal's got United playing is not the style of football where you're cutting teams open and being direct and being proper on the offensive. You've sort of got a Floyd Mayweather the shit out of them really. They've got to come to you, and then that's where you find the spaces in behind. But I think that's probably got something to do with it. But against the bigger teams like City today, they're going for it. They've actually had 26 shots today, City. So they're attacking non-stop, and Manchester United are exploiting that and defending and the ball's going back out, and then they're counter-attacking. So that's probably got a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean I can't disagree with anything you just said. I really can't. Like I said, today it looked like the whole game United were going to win, though. That was the weird thing about today's game. You just had that feeling. We always looked like we had an extra gear too. It was a strange game. It was like it was like one of those games where Man United were on the up and up, and it was kind of like the reverse of the Liverpool United game the other night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like old school Manchester United.
Yeah. And I don't know, because every time he reverts back to that, or whatever you want to call it, we look good, but then it goes sloppy again. And I think a big part of it is what you said. Big part of it as well is that maybe the players need to take some of the blame. Because
they definitely do. They're the players out there on the pitch. Yeah.
And they have spent a lot of money, and some of these players should be performing better. Now they've been brutally unlucky with injuries. Obviously, it's been shockingly unlucky at times. But at the same time, that's given the kids a chance. What I love about Van Gaal is he's done that, and I know we can say, oh, he was forced to do it, this and that, it's not really a big deal. But Rashford and Lingard, when you've spent that money and you're under pressure like he is, put an 18-year-old kid in is a hard thing to do.
Very true, and also players like Varela, McNair, and Borthwick Jackson, he's given these players opportunities.
Yeah. And it looks like it's basically gone back culturally. We're almost going back to where we are. I know Scholes had a little breakdown on BT Sports or whatever it is the other night about him, but I disagreed with them guys. I thought they were massively overreacting. I think that the future is actually very bright, and I think
I do like that about Van Gaal actually. That philosophy he has of giving young players the opportunity.
This is my philosophy.
Yeah, you can't argue with that, because without that mentality of giving, say, a Marcus Rashford the opportunity, our sixth choice striker effectively at the start of the season, some young 18-year-old lad who'd never appeared in the first team, and then he comes in, he's got 5 goals in 8 games, big games he's scoring in as well. Without that manager who's there to give them the opportunity, then those players just won't come through the fabric at Manchester United. And also, if you think about what's potentially happening this summer, which it's a big rumour. Who knows what's going to happen? But maybe Mourinho coming in, that's a manager who definitely won't really do that. You know what I mean? He go out there in the transfer market, buy big players, but he's not going to be giving your Marcus Rashford, your Borthwick Jacksons the opportunity, which is sad.
He always has done a great job.
No.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got until the end of the season. The fact of the matter is, if he can get the team winning the games, if we do finish top 4 and we scupper City and we, get that 4th spot and he wins the FA Cup, then who knows what's going to happen? You'll turn a lot of fans around in that time if that's the case. If you win a trophy and get top 4,
yeah.
That's...
I almost think the fans like him in a weird way. I think you like him in a weird way. I think a lot of fans actually they like to slate him, but they almost want him to do well. It's just he's so fucking frustrating.
It's very frustrating. Yeah, I'd like a more animated manager. When we played Liverpool the other day, as sad as it is for me to say, I was thinking Kloppy. He's such a charismatic manager.
He's a bit over the top for my liking. I get sickly. I think a lot of that is just bravado. Bravado, is that the right word?
Bravado, yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's.
He's off his head, mate. He's hilarious, though.
I think it's a lot of bollocks. I actually worry about Liverpool. I know they look so great, and I think he's smart, and I think he'll do well. But he's not this tactical genius that people might think he is. He actually plays the game very simply. I've talked about the pressing all over the field, and he demands a certain amount of energy and enthusiasm from his players. He's very good, but I don't think they'll be. I don't know. I don't buy Klopp.
I think they're going to improve. I mean, fact is, if he can get some of his ex-players to come over to Liverpool, I don't know if you watched the Tottenham-Dortmund game the other night where Dortmund ripped them apart, Aubameyang and Royce.
Well, Liverpool are playing them. So
that's right. But at the same time, I think there's a couple of players who would probably go and play for Klopp from that side. And, if they make some good signings in the summer, they've already got some good attacking talents. They could be a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's very good, and I don't think long term. I don't think Liverpool's back. Let's just put it that way. Not yet.
No, definitely not. Let's hope not. Anyway.
No, let's hope not, because Scholes and Ferdinand were really winding me up the other night when they were saying, Liverpool going in the right direction. Man United so bad. It's like, I get it. We were poor. We were really, really poor. But at the same time, again, with the injuries and the kids, you're going to have that. Schweinsteiger's so good, I'd start him every single game.
Yeah, I'd like to see him start today, even though Carrick played well.
Plays the right pass every time.
Yeah.
Carrick was the leader today. That was the difference today. Carrick really was impressive today, because you could see that there was a number of times off the ball where there was a stoppage and he was talking to the young players. Did you notice that?
Mm.
And he was talking to the young players, and it was, whatever he was saying to them, can you check in a little bit more, or why don't you, have your runs go from here to there, or whatever it was. Maybe it's just like, come on, I need you to move more. But he was leading today, which Michael Carrick was always a bit of a wet fish, wasn't he? But you could see he was the United leader today, and then when Schweinsteiger came on as well, you could see that too. City did not have a leader today. Company was injured. He's a big player for them, so that's the reason Arsenal have not won the league in 10 years. They don't have a leader. They never have had a leader since Patrick Vieira, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, players like that. That's the huge thing. So I like the fact that Michael Carrick's doing that. I like Schweinsteiger. I think Chris Smalling is coming into that. I think the future's really, really bright. A couple of players, maybe. I don't even know if you know what I mean, when you're thinking of Rashford, Martial, Lingard, Rooney, Mata. Who else we got?
Smalling, De Gea.
No, I was more going for attacking.
Schneiderlin. Yeah, Memphis Depay.
But Depay as well. He's, he.
Yeah, I mean, we're not too far away. I think defensively we need to make a big signing.
Luke Shaw is coming back into the picture. He's a quality player. Luke Shaw.
Yeah, true.
I like this Varela. I like this Darmian. Fellaini, I've had about enough of Fellaini, to be honest with you.
Fellaini's gash-tastic. That's another reason why we did well today, because we didn't have that freaking big tree in the middle of the park stinking the face off.
Right. I don't know. I almost
No, he's useless, mate.
Him,
he's alright if you use him properly, but he is useless.
Yeah, I think that's a bit strong. But
no, it's not strong. He's. Have you seen his touch? He does not have the touch of a footballer.
I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do when you're Louis Van Gaal? I mean, you've got this big tree that was bought for a ridiculous amount of money by a ginger goblin, and he does have some uses. I'd keep him around the squad.
I'd free transfer the prick.
Hey, one thing as well that we didn't mention with Van Gaal, people were ripping him to shreds for making moves in the transfer market, like letting James Wilson go out on loan. Clearly, he thought that James Wilson was not ready for the Man United first team, and he must have known about Rashford at that time. I mean,
I disagree with that. I think he didn't think we'd need him because of our options, but because of the crazy injury problems we've had, he was forced to play Marcus Rashford rather than he'd have probably played James Wilson if he was still at the club then.
No, I disagree with that completely. You've got to realise that he did know that Rashford was in the setup when he made that decision, and obviously he didn't send Rashford out on loan. He kept him with the development side. He sent Wilson out because he realised that he wasn't going to play Wilson that much. Now, whether he knew at the time, of course he didn't know at the time that Rashford would be in the first team, but he obviously was comfortable with giving him that opportunity when it came. And so, I think it's a good bit of business to get Wilson out playing. How's he doing? By the way,
I have no idea actually. I haven't really been following that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we've got this 18-year-old kid that looks like he's going to be a world beater for the next 10 years. You know what I mean?
No, he's a complete fine. Marcus Rashford. I'm glad Wilson went out on loan, so Rashford could come through because he does look tremendous.
Good.
Did you see that goal today? It was unbelievable. Just that touch and that turn of speed, and he's just totally done Dean McAllister with a lovely little sort of flick touch past him.
He's got everything. The acceleration. He's playing against a man twice his age, and 18 to me, when I was 18, I wouldn't have said this, but an 18-year-old is a boy. And that was a stonewall penalty. He could have made more of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, crazy.
And Dean McAllister was getting in his face, and I thought, oh, he's going to react here, you know. I would have thought when I was 18, if some old guy was getting in my face like that, you know, he's going to push out, he's going to lash out, and he was very, very calm. You know, It was, it's refreshing. It's so funny.
Same with Martial, he's got the right attitude as well.
Them two are players, and you know the team. I like our team now. I think that we've got a good team. I think there's no reason we can't finish in the top four. But having said that, what are we going to do next game? We'll play dinosaur football.
Yeah.
We'll roll the ball around slowly and painfully, and we'll lose to fucking whoever we're playing. You know?
Dinosaur football, I like that. Yeah. We'll probably have bloody Barney playing at left back.
Well, when I watched United against West Ham the other week, and I couldn't blame the fans because the fans were great as well. The fans have been really good recently, to be fair to them. You know, I kind of eat crow a little bit with that because they have been good. I watched the game and I was thinking, you know, in Mike Bassett, England manager, you know, when I think they draw the first game to Egypt 0-0 in the World Cup. And it's like that, you know, it's like that dinosaur and like the ball moving so slow. That's what United reminded me of. Not today though; they were great today. So I get it. I do understand. I think it's just the better teams we play. He does this diagonal pressing and the way they move and press the other teams. It is designed kind of to play as the team that's the underdog a little bit. Well, it's Man United, so they can't do that. But having said that, against the big teams, his record's amazing. But they need to figure out a way to be consistent against the good teams, and they just need to be more direct and more pace. And how do you not attack teams directly with pace when you have Rashford, Martial, Lingard, Mata?
It's crazy.
You can't do that. Yeah, so it's insane. So it's
too inconsistent. Here's a question for you, Tom. If so, you asked me earlier, but if United did finish fourth and we won the FA Cup, would you stick with him for the final year of his contract?
Yes, I would.
You would, yeah?
I would stick with him if he finished fourth and didn't win the FA Cup.
If you finished fourth and did not win the FA Cup?
Correct.
Jesus, that is some pretty low expectations you got there.
No, it is. It is low, and don't get me wrong. It's not. That's not acceptable moving forward. But I know that he's had time. You told me that. Well, he has them, but okay. But with these kids coming in and everything going on, and the excitement of having these players, I still think he's a brilliant man. I do. I mean, you know, his class just doesn't go away, and you can see signs of things. So I would have him in another year and then let Ryan Giggs have a shot.
Fair enough then. Yeah, well, quite interesting. It was a good game of football anyway. Nice to see us actually playing decent against a good team there for a change. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about getting top four because I think City are struggling at the moment. They've announced that Pep Guardiola's coming in.
City are done.
By the way, don't you think it's funny that there's a good chance, well not a good chance, but there's a chance that Manchester City could finish outside the top four this season and then Pep Guardiola's coming in and managing them on Thursday nights in the Europa League.
Sorry, I was holding the phone and taking a drink of coffee then and driving. Yeah, I think that
That would be hilarious though, right?
It's a joke. You don't do that. Especially they get Manuel Pellegrini and he wins the league with them. And he's a really successful, good manager. And then they have the opportunity to get Pep Guardiola, which they still don't understand the big stigma around him, but okay, whatever. And now this Pellegrini, the poor guy's just, he knows that he's walking the plank, and no matter what happened this year, he's done. Well, that's bullshit. What's going on with that?
He wants to retire back to Transylvania. That's what I heard.
Transylvania, is that where he's from?
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Why am I not shocked? Why he looks like he's from Transylvania?
He's not actually from Transylvania. I just keep saying on my channel that he looks like Dracula.
He does look like Dracula, but when you said that, I'm like, oh, is he really?
He's got to be from somewhere around there.
He is. He's kind of a scary looking dude, isn't he? Like, not like in an ugly way, but like in a fierce, scary Bond villain type of way.
Yeah, he does seem like that way. Yeah. I want to suck
shocking.
your blood. That is Manuel Pellegrini.
That is Manuel Pellegrini. There you go. He's going to be in Hollywood next year. He's probably given his notice to them. Yeah, you better get Guardiola in because I'm going to star in a new vampire series of films.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one, huh?
So, I think the future's bright. The future's united. I think with these kids coming through and everything you've found dare I say it, two of the best youngsters in European football are in the United team. Rashford and Martial. And I know that's ridiculous to say about Rashford early, but it kind of is about Martial.
No, I agree, mate. Physically and skill-wise, Rashford looks unbelievable for an 18-year-old,
Rooney comes in with them kids around him. It's very interesting to see, Yeah. What will happen then, and I don't know. I think that it's going to be a really fun end of the season. Actually, I'm quite optimistic after today's game now, and seeing these kids and seeing these players.
I am, mate. I am for the future. Soon. Hopefully, Louis Van Gaal's not there. But anyway, let's wrap this up like a Chipotle, mate, because we're about to hit the half-an-hour mark.
I still think Louis Van Gaal is a brilliant man. Just so you know.
Fair enough.
All right then, mate. Wrap this up like what?
Wrap this up like a Chipotle.
What are you talking about?
You've got Chipotle in America. When I was there last summer or whatever, I went and had a Chipotle, mate. Surely you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they don't really do wraps. It's not a wrap place. It's more of a bowl, like a noodles and company type of
What?
place.
I had a freaking wrap
there,
there,
really
mate.
make sense.
I had a wrap.
Let's wrap this up like a Subway. Let's wrap this up like a Jimmy John's.
Like a Subway? Subways do freaking subs. You don't wrap it up. You close it up. No, I'm not having it. I went to Chipotle.
What are you talking about?
Beans, rice, meat in a wrap. That is what it was. It's got a name. I forget what it was now, but that's what it was.
I thought you just went to McDonald's every single day when you were here.
I did.
Twice a day at McDonald's.
Well, that was mostly for Wi-Fi. Okay, I ended up ordering while I was there, but it was mostly for Wi-Fi.
To be fair, McDonald's in America, they are on every single corner. I'm just passing one now, funnily enough.
Yeah, they literally are everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, real quick story for you, I went to the cinemas and watched Leonardo DiCaprio's film, The Revenant. And the new cinemas is like 2 miles from where I live. They have these reclinable chairs, and I'm talking about like these lazy boys, big fat chairs.
Oh, sick.
And you can order a glass of beer. Now, we're not talking about plastic cups. We're not talking about bottles. A glass of beer. It's amazing, just like from Pulp Fiction when he says that. But it was incredible. So you can go to cinemas now. You can sit there and drink beer for a few hours and watch.
I'm glad that that's brightened your life, but you can literally do that here.
Okay, great. Are you coming here in a couple of months or no?
I don't know yet, mate. We shall see.
Okay.
It all hinges on a lot of things. But anyway.
Do you want all your viewers to know that you are planning on missing your brother's wedding?
Brother's second wedding. I missed the first one as well. It's
not
no
my
big deal.
second wedding.
I'll come to the next one, pal.
It's not my second wedding. That wedding was a sham, mockery sham.
Anyway, you don't want to be, flashing your
I didn't
personal life
invite
all over
anyone.
the Flying Pig channel, mate. Listen, I'll come to your fourth wedding. Okay?
Shocking.
You
no,
are
can
Ross
come to
the
second one.
divorcer.
And so you're. I am kind of like Ross, yeah. So you're. So you know as well, your viewers know. I will be there June 15th.
In the UK.
So we will be able to do an in-person PigCast.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. You'll be able to see who the better-looking brother is.
I think they already know.
Yeah, they probably do. They can't be much worse than you, right?
Ah, you're a scumbag. Let's wrap this up because half
Let's
an hour
wrap
we
it up
turn
like
into
a
a pumpkin.
Chipotle. Let's wrap it up like a Chipotle. Yeah.
I
Let's
don't see that expression catching on.
Like a Chipotle. Yeah. What a douche.
Right, go fuck yourself. Speak to you soon.
Hey, you're a douchebag, and bye-bye.
Like, subscribe, and comment. All right, Tom. Speak to you soon. Have a good one, mate.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.